I stayed on as the aide-de-camp to his replacement, a fellow by the name of Hiram Dudley Ives, and remained in that capacity with General Ives up until February of 1961.
I'm thinking Cuban Missile Crisis in that time frame somewhere.
It's coming.
It's coming. Okay. All right. Okay.
In February 1961, I received orders to proceed to Berlin, Germany. And the trip itself started out quite interesting in that we went over by troop ship. I was up in officers' quarters, but we had the hull full of young troops. And the North Atlantic in the month of February is very, very vicious, to say the least. Lots of time spent on deck bringing up yesterday's meals and that. And to add insult to misery, we were sent on a mercy mission. A British freighter had run into some problems, and some of its cargo had broken loose and crushed the legs of a crew member. With that, we were the only ship in the pond, so we went on a mercy mission and offloaded this young chap onto our ship. We had medical facilities, as far as that's concerned, continued on our way. But that extended the trip by a couple of 3 days.
Where did you depart from in the States?
New Jersey, as I recall.
So how did you? So they flew you to New Jersey, or took training or something?
I drove to New Jersey.
Oh, you drove yourself to?
Yeah, and at that time, as I say, took a ship and made it over the USS Buckner, which was nothing but a troop ship, and then docked at Bremerhaven, which is a port in northern Germany, and from there took the train into Berlin. Now you have to realize that Berlin at that time was actually behind the Iron Curtain to the tune of about 120 miles. So it was completely isolated. The governance of the city itself was still under four-party control, the U.S., the Brits, the French, and the Russians. So we had free access as far as that's concerned. There I reported to A Company of the 6th Infantry. It was a regiment, or part of a regiment actually. And at that time there were a grand total of 9,500 Allied troops in Berlin. And we were surrounded, virtually surrounded by 150 East German and Russian divisions. So the odds, if the balloon went up, weren't too great as far as we were concerned. We knew what our mission was. That we were to hold out as long as we could and hope that the troops in West Germany could make 20 miles a day, and if that were the case, 6 days, if we could hold out that long, we might be relieved. But anyways, reported in there, once again, I was in an infantry company. Probably the most interesting thing at that time was that the cadres in these infantry companies, the officer cadres in these infantry companies, provided support to the intelligence community. And quite often we would be assigned to go into East Berlin and see what the Russians were doing. And I recall one instance especially.
Just pretend like you're sightseeing or something?
Yeah, in American sedans. Yeah. We were in uniform. But we had free access.
Right. But you didn't tell the Russians were coming over to spy on you?
No. This one particular time,